वायुपुत्राय वज्रंगबली पंचवक्त्राय महाकाय ओम नमो आंजनेयाय। संकटमोचन महाबलाय वायुपुत्राय वज्रंगबली पंचवक्त्राय महाकाय ओम नमो आंजनेयाय। Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana bhavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena
Devan bhavayatanena
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Te deva bhavayantu vaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Parasparam bhavayantaha
Shreya paramavapsyatha
Shreya paramavapsyatha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha
Tairdattana pradayaibhyaha
Tairdattana pradayaibhyaha
Yo bhungte stena eva saha
यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः
यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः
मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः
भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
अन्नाद्भवन्ति भूतानि
पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञाद्भवति पर्जन्यः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So, in the last session, we were seeing about this principle of Shreya. I was giving you the reference from Katho Upanishad. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita is based on the Upanishads only. See, Vedas, the four Vedas, actually are voluminous texts where different mantras have been noted down. Actually speaking, Vedaha means knowledge. It's a common terminology. Vedaha means knowledge. So, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda, these are all the names for the Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharvana. But actually, in the good old days, these mantras were not written down. They were just passed on orally. So, the masters just gave it out orally, the entire wisdom. And the students used to hear it, listen to it with complete intensity, with the full focus, with the body, mind and soul aligned. So they listened to it with such kind of focus and absorbed it. So that is why the Vedas are called Shrutis. Shrutihi means that which was heard. You should not take it as mere external hearing. because there is a deeper meaning of Shruti. That is, these great masters, when they went into very deep meditation, when they raised their consciousness and increased their vibrational frequency to that of infinite dimension, when they started vibrating at the infinite dimensional frequency, now they were one with the infinite, they were one with the cosmos. So the jnanam, the knowledge, which is an essential aspect of the infinite, was revealed to them. So poetically we can say that they heard that internally. But that kind of hearing is not is not the type of hearing which we relate to. That is externally somebody telling us and then you hear it. Because the yogic science, sound itself has 4 stages. The first stage is Paravani, the highest stage, that is total silence. I'm not getting into that full science now. I have given some points when we had one of the Yoga Sankirtan empowerment, because Yoga Sankirtan is based on the science of sound vibrations only. So when you go into deep silence and then those vibrations can be felt in the form of energy, the form of Shakti, and then that further grossifies and becomes sound, and then they were given to others in the form of sound, and then further it was written down. Vyasa compiled the 4 Vedas. So those are all manifestations. But the real message happens at such a deep, deep level. So Shruti means that which the masters heard. I'm putting it in quote, but this hearing is not the gross form of sound. It is a subtle form which is nothing but energy, Shakti. So whatever they heard internally when they were in such deep meditation, they shared it with their students. And the students initially only heard it with the external ears. But then when they did sadhana with that, it's not that they just said, I understood this point, okay, now next go, that's it, my education is over. They didn't feel that way, the students also. They knew that this was only external hearing. That also we can call a Shruti, but that is a grossest form. So they did a lot of sadhana, they purified themselves, so that slowly as they started going within, the subtler aspects of Shruti started getting revealed to them. First at the external level, then at the pranic level, where you start feeling the pranic energy. The pranic energy is a higher form of energy in the 3rd dimension, what we can call as life force energy, but it is still pertaining to the 3rd dimension. Then they went further, till they went to that state of Paravani, which is beyond all manifestations, that state of silence. That is the ultimate goal, because that is what exposes the infinite 100%, or rather you are exposed to the infinite, we can say. See, to describe that state alone is not possible, because it goes beyond words. You can say you're merged with the infinite has completely engulfed you. Any words you can use but it will still not convey the full essence, full meaning. So this is why the Vedas were called a Shruti. That which was heard when that which was heard by these great masters when they went into very deep meditation and became one with the infinite. So these Vedas are divided into many parts. Each Veda, see this division itself, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, these are all just for functionality purposes, because the whole thing is so voluminous, it may not be possible for a single person to just like that, grasp it fully. So for functionality purposes, to make it easy, Vyasa divided it into 4 Vedas. It is only a functional division. Actually, there is no division. Before Vyasa codified it, it was just pure knowledge available with these masters. And from where has all this come? These masters say, our masters, our masters. It keeps on going, the ancestry. It's very interesting. And finally, where will it go? It will go to that infinite reality, what we call as divinity or God. So we say the whole thing came from God. This is the meaning. So the end portion of these Vedas, which Vyasa had codified, it codified it into a particular structure. Now the end portion of that is called the Upanishads. The end portion of the Vedas contain they contain the philosophical content, the real philosophy of life. So that is called the Upanishads. It teaches you how to live your life. It teaches you what is beyond life and death, what is Brahma Vidya. Everything is spelt out, but not in a detailed way. Mantras are just very crisply formulated, we can say, sound vibrations. For example, in one of the Upanishads, what he says is that you do meditation. These Isavasya Upanishad, he says that if you're unable to do meditation and gain that inner knowledge, then do karma. Now, that's all is said. Now, what karma? Karma means so many things, no? Even if you take karma as mere action, action means selfish action is there, unselfish is there, selfless is there. What is action? What type of action do we do? Everybody is doing some karma or other, no? That way, if you take the literal meaning. So the entire Karma Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita actually explains that one word karma of the Upanishad. So Upanishads are very terse. So when people found it difficult to absorb that, then further explanations were given. Now what is interesting is, see, there are 108 Upanishads, orthodox Upanishads I am talking of. Why I am using the word orthodox Upanishads is, see, today one Upanishad can come. Somebody can write something and say that this is also an Upanishad. We are not talking of that. I am not putting anybody down. I am not saying that should be of low quality and all that. But when we look at the tradition, there are 108 Upanishads. Now the essence of all the Upanishads is one and the same only. They are teaching you the Brahma Vidya in different ways. That is the focus. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, which is based on the Upanishads, it actually gives you the essence of the Upanishads. If you see, he expands it and explains how to apply it in our day-to-day living. This is the most important thing in the yogic approach. One is to study the Upanishads in general, but the other is to expand it and apply it in your life, in the context of your situation. That's what Krishna did for Arjuna. He applied it in the context of Arjuna's situation, which is the battlefield. So in the Vedas it is said, do yajna. Now how to apply that in the battlefield? Because that is what is the karma kshetra of Arjuna, the field of action. So Krishna is taking those principles and telling Arjuna how to apply it in his life. Similarly now, you should not just go by the mere application which Lord Krishna is giving, because that will, if you merely take that particular application, it will suit Arjuna, it may not suit others. Through that application, we should understand the principle and then absorb that and apply it in our lives, which is what we are doing every Sunday. So, wherever there is a direct reference, I am just giving that information to you so that it makes it interesting for you, how this whole thing is based on the ancient wisdom, the Upanishads. Even in the first chapter, when Vyasa talks about the chariot, where Madhava, that is Krishna and Arjuna are in the chariot, he describes the chariot as a magnificent chariot. Now, that very principle is taken from the Katha Upanishad. Very interesting, because when Nachiketas went and asked Lord Yama, last week I was telling the 3 boons which he asked. It's amazing, because every time we hear just merely the story, it inspires us so much. Every time I talk about that story, that inspires me. I don't know whether it inspires you or not. It will obviously, if you're a sadhak, it will inspire you. So powerful, just the story part. So in that, the 3 boons represent the 3 duties which we have in our life. The first is towards our immediate family, which is represented by his father. So you have your parent, you have your spouse, children, your immediate family. Then the second boon, which is yajna, where he wants to do his duty to the society, which we'll be seeing in the coming verses. See, right now, the very principle of yajna is being explained to you. How it will benefit the society and all that also we'll be seeing, which was why Nachiketas had originally asked that question. And then the Brahma Vidya, which is the highest type of yajna. It is called Brahma Yajna. Among all yajnas, the highest yajna a person can perform is Brahma Yajna. So Nachiketas asked Yama to teach him the principles, first the gross principles of yajna, which he could use and serve the society, serve the world in general. And then he also asked for Brahma Vidya, which is nothing but the subtler aspects of the principle of Yajna. That is why it is called Brahma Yajna. And when Lord Yama tested Nachiketas, he passed that test. See, this wisdom has to be administered very carefully, because when the higher wisdom is straight away administered, we are not talking of intellectual understanding. We are talking of empowerment. See, every master, if you go to the Upanishad, every master actually gives the empowerments, different empowerments to the students. So, Nachiketas received different levels of empowerments. That is why they are called as boons. Something which he received, which transformed him completely, and he could also contribute to the world. Not mere knowledge. As I have repeatedly told you, mere knowledge can be obtained from books. There are a lot of ifs and buts. Who wrote that book? Under what circumstances he wrote? What was his mind? What was his level of development? Whether this reflects the original wisdom or not, how will you find out all that? The original manuscripts, are they still available? There itself, many researchers say we can't be sure about that. Then what would we take as an authority? It is a sadhana. When you take the Guru's guidance and do the sadhana and go within, then you will start feeling the energy. You will start experiencing the higher energy. There is a thin dividing line between your wild imagination, that is whatever your mind just imagines, and your inner experience. So all these subtleties you will begin to grasp only then. So when the chariot portion came also, I had given you the reference to the Katha Upanishad when we did the chapter 1, So again here, the Katha Upanishad reference we can see because of the usage of these words, the principles, Yajna. And when he's talking about Yajna, he's using the word Shreya. The most interesting part is, in the Katha Upanishad, he talks about two paths. One is the path of the good, which is Shreyas, and the other is the path of the pleasant, called Preyas. So Preyaha literally means that which is agreeable to you, that which is pleasant to you, pleasurable to you. Prayas also has another meaning. It means flattery. I am giving you the other path which has been thoroughly analyzed in the Katha Upanishad. Then your understanding of Shreya will become more deep. So two paths are there in front of you. The path of Shreya and the path of Preya. Now, this is what is given in the Katha Upanishad. I will explain that. But just for your understanding, it's very interesting. Here he is giving the higher meaning of Shreya by referring to the highest goal, God realization, that state of infinite, as Param Shreya. This is not mentioned in the Katha Upanishad directly. That's why we require this yogic approach. What Vyasa has done is he has gone very deep into that principle of Shreya, and he has used that in the context of the goal, referring to the highest goal, Param Shreya. By using the word Shreya immediately when the word Yajna is also used, the same verse, we understand, oh, this is a reference to the Katho Upanishads. So, what does he say there? Two parts are there in front of you. One is prayers and the other is Shreyas. Prayaha means that which is agreeable to you, pleasant to you, that which you like. Now, if you don't go into the depth of it, you will wonder, then what is Shreya which he's talking about? Does it mean I will not like it at all, or that will not at all be pleasant? It doesn't mean that. That's where we have to go into the deeper dimensions of prayer. Then only you will be able to understand this principle Shreya more deeply. So one of the dimensions of prayer is, prayer also means flattery. Prayas. Even in the English language we say praise, no? In Sanskritam it is prayas. So who knows, maybe a modification of that, because sometimes these language experts, what they say is, many of these words which we use in the modern context today, they all have origins in the ancient languages like Sanskritam. So prayas means flattery, to praise someone. But flattery, what does flattery mean? Flattery means it is not a sincere praise. So when someone appreciates you factually, based on facts, that is not called praise. When someone flatters you with an ulterior motive, that kind of praise is called praise. So when Lord Yama uses the word prayer to refer to the opposite of Shreya, what he's trying to say is that which is actually not good for you, but it comes in the garb or in the dress of something which is very pleasant to you. This is what I want you to really focus on, because this is a great opportunity. When he says Param Shreya, even though he is referring to the ultimate goal, if we actually get into the depth of Shreya, you get the entire path and the goal. That's why I said Shreya means good, better, and the best also, the highest. It gives you the entire principle of Yajna. Very interesting. So, prayers means flattery. So, there is a difference between flattery and genuine appreciation. Genuine appreciation is something which is good for you, which is based on reality. Flattery itself means false appreciation. The motive itself is wrong. So, prayers refers to those things in life which are actually not good for us, not beneficial for us in the long run. But then why do we pick them up? Because they come in the garb of goodness, or they are very pleasant to us. It's like a very negative person who is out to harm you, but he comes and smiles in front of you, he talks very sweetly, then that is prayers. Such a beautiful word, to denote the principle of sadhana when he says Shreya and Preya. That gives you immense clarity how you should conduct yourself in life. So if you want to really benefit from Shreya, you need to know this difference. That which is pleasant and that which is genuinely good for you in the long run. Why does he talk only about pleasant things? What about unpleasant things, which may also not be good for you? That will automatically be rejected by you. When something is not giving you a pleasant experience, you will automatically reject it. So he is not talking about those things which are not so attractive and which are not also beneficial. That part of it he has just left it out in the Upanishads. Why? Because naturally you will not pick it up, you will reject it. Your mind itself will reject it. But the real danger in life is when something is not good for you, but it is sugar coated or honey coated, and if it is given to you. Just imagine, somebody gives you a beautiful toffee, but inside that is poison. The poison which is coated with sugar, honey, chocolate and all that and given to you poses a real threat. If only in life things were very direct, good things were unpleasant and that which is not good things are pleasant and that which is not good for you is unpleasant, we don't require all this wisdom. We don't even require these Sunday sessions. Actually, you don't require any sadhana. Just imagine, if all the good things in life, that which will take you further, higher and higher, right up to the infinite, if all of them were very, very pleasurable to start with, then automatically your mind will pick them up. And if those things which are harmful to you, they are all unpleasant, you just can't go near it also, then automatically your mind will reject it. But that is not how life is. A person is bad, negative, but the dress which he wears, the language which he talks is sweet. That's where the whole confusion comes. This is why Lord Yama is so happy seeing a student like Nachiketas. He says even men and women of very, very high level of knowledge, they get baffled about Shreyas and prayers when it comes to practicality. When you are facing a situation, to differentiate between what is good for me and what is merely pleasant, but it may not be good. To get that clarity is extremely difficult, says Lord Yama. Don't take it lightly. When it comes to practical application, theory-wise itself, it's difficult to understand. But he says theory is much more easy when compared to real life situations. This was again the confusion with Arjuna also. Running away from the battlefield was giving him immediate pleasure, relief, sense of relief. That is prayers. Whereas to stand there, even though it is my relatives and friends who are standing, some of them were close friends also, they were standing there in the opponent camp. Still I have to fight this war because they are unrighteous. To say that is not so easy. Who would like to be in that position? So Krishna is asking him to choose the path of Shreyas. And what is the source of this principle? We go back to the Upanishad. And what is the source of the Kato Upanishad? Natural laws of life. That's why this is called Sanatana Dharma, eternal principles of life. no one individual can claim that I am the author. It's like saying, supposing this question was asked, who is the author of science? You can't really answer that question. Many scientists have contributed. Similarly, who is the author of Sanatana Dharma? Means maximum we can say it's come from God. Means from that infinite state. That we can say. But there is no single person. That's why we always pay homage, we always bow down to the galaxy of sages and saints, the principle of Guru Mandala, In the Guru Purnima's yogic sadhana, the Guru Stotram was chanted in a yogic way, so that you can go deep into meditation. The very first line itself, Akhanda Mandala Karam, means we're talking about the mandala. So when it comes to the Guru Shakti also, the energy is the Guru Shakti, the different masters, we say Guru Mandala. That's why in our sadhana, I always ask you to offer your gratitude to your Guru and then to all the holy masters. That's very important. So, in order to master the principles of Shreya, you also need to understand what can take you away from that. That is the Preya, the path of the pleasant. So you should find out, am I merely pleasure oriented or do I think in terms of what is good for me? The first meaning of Shreya is good. So you should pick up this habit. Last week I just mentioned to you, pick those things which are good for you. Now I am giving you more depth to that. These deep principles will help you actually practicalize that. So always look at the goodness. Is this good for me? Is this beneficial for me? Then it doesn't matter whether it is pleasant or not pleasant. Sometimes it may be unpleasant. Most of the times it will be unpleasant. Good habits. Because you will have the opposite habit. So to break that and come to a good habit will be a little unpleasant. Eating the right type of food. It is very pleasant for a person who has that habit. But it is very unpleasant for a person who doesn't have that habit. Supposing you're used to eating all junk food, processed food. Now if you're asked to eat nutritious food, natural foods, cooked, satvically cooked food, now you will find it very difficult to start with. It will be unpleasant. The unpleasantness is not because of the inherent nature of those things, it's because of your habits. You have gone to the other extreme. Exercising, for a person who has got that habit, it's very pleasurable. But if you have the habit of lazing around, exercising is very unpleasant to start with. Then what should you do? He says, Shreya. Shreya means this is something which is good for me. So even if it is unpleasant, I will do it till I form the habit. Now once you form the habit, the same thing which was unpleasant to you earlier will start giving you so much of enjoyment. See, when you first start doing, let's say, the yogic kriyas, I'm talking of the physical aspect, Now, when you do those movements and all, you may feel a lot of body pain. For first few days, you may find it a little difficult. But gradually, when you keep on doing them, the flexibility it gives, the state of health which it creates, all these things over a period of time will start giving you so much of enjoyment that once you get used to it, you will not want to skip it, even for a day. You will find it odd. I know some sadhaks, it is same thing to do with the Yoga Sankirtan sadhana also. So powerful, but you have to get used to it. You have to form a habit. I know many sadhaks who don't find their day good or complete if they don't do their sadhana. That is a very good sign. Wherever they go, even if they are in the flight, they do the sadhana, the basic sadhana I'm talking about, the Yoga Sankirtan. So once you taste the benefit, it becomes so enjoyable. But till that time comes, it may be unpleasant. I'm using the word maybe because sometimes it can be pleasant also. If you're in a neutral state, it may straight away be very pleasurable also. So this is the first practice which you need to do as a sadhak. You have to analyze in life, what is that which is good for me? Supposing you're constantly being rude to others, is it good for me? Is it good for the other person? Lord Buddha gave the same principle of Shreya in a more detailed way. He said, before you do anything, just ask yourself, will this action cause good for me? Will this action cause good for others? Yes means do that action. No means don't do that action. This is what Lord Buddha said. So, if you go to the deep principles of what any master has given, we will come to the same principle, because these are all based on the fundamental principles of life. You should understand that the rituals may vary, the external practices may be different, the name of the gods also may be different. One person may say, I am a worshipper of Shiva, one person may say, I am a worshipper of Vishnu. All these differences are at the external level, but if you go to the deeper level, it's all one and the same, because they are based on the fundamental laws of life. So, as a sadhak, you should develop this habit of differentiating between prayas and shreyas. It is not said that if something is pleasant, immediately reject it. That's not what is said. Examine it. Don't jump with excitement and jump into it, without any thinking. When something gives you immediate pleasure, just pause for a moment and examine it. Okay, this is giving me a lot of pleasure, but will it help me in the long run? What will be the consequences? Just examine that. If you develop this habit, you will grow spiritually very fast. That's what happened to Nachiketas. Why does a person become an addict to alcohol? I'm taking the extreme example of addiction. Why does he become an addict to alcohol or drugs and all these things, smoking? At the first moment, if he had applied this principle, he would have immediately rejected it. Because that is prayer, not shreya. Now, after becoming an addict, however difficult it is to practice this is the only way. You should go on examining what you're doing, so that you will correct yourself and come to the path of shreya. Only then you will be able to reach the state of param shreya, which is the goal. So that's why, see, when he says shreya param avapsyata. So first comes shreya, you absorb that. When you go on practicing the principle of shreya, then you will be able to reach that goal of param shreya. You will obtain param avapsyata. You shall obtain the highest state. So, what is interesting is, even if you don't see it in the context of this verse, just independently take that portion. If we take the whole verse, it's very easy to understand now, because so much has been explained. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuha. May you nourish the gods, may the gods nourish you. We have seen all that. Parasparam bhavayantaha. So, nourishing each other, mutual benefit. Shreyaha param, that is param shreyaha avapsyata. You shall obtain the highest good. So when you see it in the context of the previous portion, due to the parasparam bhavayantaha, you can keep on growing, keep fixing higher and higher goals and reach the highest. That is one thing. But just for argument's sake, don't see the context at all. Forget about parasparam bhava and all that. Forget means what? Just temporarily I'm saying, to analyze this. If you just take only the last portion, Shreyaha param avapsyata, that itself is a complete sadhana, goal, everything. Start with Shreyaha, start with that which is good for you. Your whole life will start getting purified. At the physical level, you will pick up those kinds of habits which are good for you, beneficial to you. At the emotional level, you will start entertaining those emotions which are good for you. If you get angry, you will release it by doing sadhana. You will not waste your time by brooding over something. If you feel sorrow, again you will release it. You will start getting that clarity of which emotion is good for me, which emotion is not good for me. When you face a problem, to wallow in self-pity, that is prayaha. It gives you immediate pleasure. You keep on talking about the problem. Keep on saying, this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. But that destroys you ultimately. That emotion is not good for you. So the moment you understand, you gain the clarity. Now you will start releasing all that and you will get into the path of Shreyaha. That which is good for me. This is the first principle when it comes to Shreyaha. So practice Shreyaha fully. And when you practice it fully, that will lead you to Param Shreyaha, which is the highest state. That avapsyata, you will obtain. So Shreyaha is a practice, Param Shreyaha is the goal which you will attain, he says. That will be the result of practicing Shreyaha. So just taking that portion alone, you see, it gives the entire ancient wisdom. That's what I'm telling you. Don't be bothered about how many texts you have studied, how many Upanishads. Some people ask, sir, how many Upanishads did I study? Just this alone is also enough. The mind's tendency is to be extroverted and how many books I have read, what is the quantity of knowledge and all that. It is the depth which matters. So, in the first stage, Shreyaha, Preyaha, this is the difference, and you should start choosing those objects, those habits at the physical level, and those kinds of emotions, those kinds of thoughts which will do good to you in the long run. But the mind will automatically gravitate towards prayers. Why? That's why they've used the word prayers. Even though that is not good for you, that is giving you an immediate pleasure or relief. When you are highly stressed, one person who was addicted to alcohol, he told me this. I asked him, what is the pleasure you're getting? He said, sir, when I'm highly stressed, I just take a peg. Immediately I get relieved. See, this is what is prayers. In the last 3-4 years, I'm talking of people whom I know personally, it has come to my notice that almost 4 or 5 of them who became very addicted to alcohol smoking, they couldn't leave it. They kept on indulging, and finally they passed away. They suffered a lot, and their lives ended. This birth, it's a complete waste of the human birth. Of course, this is an extreme example of alcohol addiction, which I'm saying. Even though I'm saying it's an extreme example, practically it's happening, no? So, when you realize your life, then this principle, the sadhana of Shreya becomes very relevant to you. So, why are we saying stick to the discipline, keep attending the Sunday sessions without fail? Once you start attending that regularly, then bring the discipline of time also. All that, why do we say that? You really think about it. No? Does it make any difference to me whether you watch this or not? Do I get any benefit if you are? Nothing. If you want your life to become really, really wonderful, this is the way. The path of Shreya. So first Shreya. We'll come to Param Avapsyata, but first is Shreya, that which is good for me. This is your first practice. As I told you, I mentioned this in the last session, but I am going into more depth. Then the second practice for you is better. Okay, you have picked up that which is good for you. Now the second sadhana which he is asking you to do is always think in terms of betterment. Never be satisfied with your progress. The day you are satisfied with your progress, you will start stagnating. Always look for growth. That is the beauty of that that dimension of better. Every day try to better yourself. Keep on bettering yourself. When it comes to self-development, spiritual development, never be satisfied in a tamasic way. When we say practice satisfaction, that is not in a tamasic way, Because when we see that aspect, I'm sure you will understand that. So one is to pick up those things which cause good to you. The other is to go on, to go on putting in that effort, continuously to put that effort to better your life externally and internally. When we have this empowerment this year in December, it is on attracting abundance, no? So we will be seeing all these aspects. The empowerment is going to be given for all these things. Because abundance energy is not restricted to any one aspect. So how does it function externally? How does it function at the cosmic level? Or what is the Shri Shakti at the cosmic level? Or how does it function internally? All these things we'll be seeing thoroughly, and different empowerments are going to be given to you. So when I'm asking you to practice all this, absorb all this, this will all prepare you. You will find it very easy when we get into the actual empowerment session. So this is the second practice. First practice is picking up good, which means you will have to resist that temptation of the pleasant when it is not good. If something is pleasant and good, no problem. So he is not asking you to avoid pleasant things. He is only saying examine and ensure that it is good for you. Is that clear? Then the second point is better. Constantly try to better your situation. Now if you keep on growing, what will happen? Is this Shreya Param Avapsyata. Shreya itself means best, the highest. He is adding one more word and he is saying Param Shreya. It's actually double superlative. When we, in this context of what he is saying, it becomes a double superlative. The highest best. It's grammatically incorrect. But sometimes when you break the rules of grammar only, you will get the essence of the meaning. For example, if you take the play Julius Caesar, written by William Shakespeare. Now, very interestingly, Julius Caesar was murdered, stabbed by a group of people. Brutus was one among them. Now, Caesar was a benefactor of Brutus. He was a well-wisher. He liked Brutus a lot. And he always, helped him. Yet Brutus went against Caesar. So when everybody stabbed him, now Caesar didn't say anything. But when Brutus stabbed him, that was the time when Caesar asked, "You too, Brutus? See, if others are stabbing, okay, they are having some issues, okay. But how can you stab me? I am your benefactor." It's very powerfully given there. So when Caesar was stabbed by Brutus and when he saw that, he said, life is not worth it. Others are stabbing, it's fine. But if you yourself are going to do it, okay, take my life. That he got into that spirit, Now, what is interesting is, later on when Mark Antony talks about it to the general public, he explains it because everybody thinks that Brutus was very honorable when it came to killing Caesar. So Mark Antony's speech is very famous actually. In that, he describes how the gruesome murder occurred. He says, this is where this person stabbed him, this is where this person, the corpse of Caesar is kept there, and he dramatizes. When it comes to Brutus's cut, he says, this was the most unkindest cut of all. Because Brutus, see, when it came to the relationship which Brutus had with Caesar, Caesar was his benefactor, whereas to others he was not their benefactor. So that's why he says, in spite of Caesar doing so much of good to Brutus, yet Brutus went and stabbed him. That's why he says, the most unkindest cut of all. Incidentally, this is grammatically wrong because there is a double superlative. Most unkind is correct. You can't say most unkindest cut of all. So then why did Shakespeare write it that way? Can we say Shakespeare didn't know English grammar? It's absurd, no? He deliberately broke the rules of grammar because only then that emotion can be conveyed. So, when we take Shreya as the highest, which is the best, then Param Shreya becomes grammatically wrong because double superlative. That's why in the translation it is written as highest good. But the Param is common for Shreya in all its dimensions, no? So Param Shreya means highest best when it comes to the goal, which means all rules of grammar are broken here. What does it imply? It means that supreme state of infinite is beyond all words. It is only in that state of silence you can experience that infinite God, that divine state, where the I completely merges with the infinite. Today that I is conditioned. When you say I am this, I am that, you are referring to the limited individual who is trapped within these equipments of the body, the pranas, the emotions, thoughts, all these things. But that supreme state is when you free this I from these limitations and when it becomes one with the infinite. And that state cannot be explained in words. It cannot be expressed in words because words are very gross and that is the subtlest. As in the Upanishads it is said, Sukshma Sukshmataram, subtler than the subtlest. Very, very difficult to translate these things, I am telling you. So, as a sadhak, see, good, better, those words actually give you the deeper meaning, how to go about in the sadhana. But as a sadhak, you should also explore this dimension of Shreya, that is the best. And then when you see Param Shreya, the highest best, what is this? What happened to the rules of grammar? Now the moment you go into that dimension of Shreya and say Param Shreya, the highest best, now you will go beyond all words. And when you go beyond all words, words are representative of expressions. When you go beyond all expressions, whether it is in the form of words or emotions or thoughts, everything is nothing but an expression of that infinite. So when you go beyond all these expressions, the moment you say Param Shreya in its highest sense, that automatically takes you beyond all expressions. Then what happens? Avapsyata. That experience is obtained by you. It is beyond all efforts. You can put in efforts to purify yourself. You can put in efforts to purify your personality for self-development. You can go up to that last point, but that final experience is beyond human effort. You just go to that state. And in the second chapter, he used the word Ascharyavat, no? You will just stand in wonderment there. No words to express. You can't even say it is inspiration, you can't say this, you can't say that. No word. It's Ascharyavat. You are just wonderstruck. And when you are at that state, he says, Avapsyata, you shall obtain the highest. Again, we are using the word highest here. It's a word only. So you shall obtain. That is the correct way. Don't ask me what, because again you are asking me in words. That is why the great masters used to give a lot of empowerments. Rather, energy was transferred, and slowly, as the students started receiving the higher and higher empowerments, They were ready for the highest experience, and that experience was indicated, and the master used to gently push or guide the student within himself or herself to go and experience that. And that state is beyond all words. So, last week I just simply said good, better, best. You all thought, oh, good, better, best, what amazing, Shreya, this, that. But today I've given you the deeper dimensions of, that is the deeper meaning of those dimensions. If you can absorb that which has been given today, now it will create so much of value in your life. Okay, so we will stop with this today. Very, very subtle points have been given. The first two dimensions are extremely practical, directly relating to your sadhana. So start doing that, start practicing that. Take it up as a homework and do it. What is good for me? And how do I better myself every day? The moment you ask these questions genuinely, the way will be shown to you. The Guru Shakti will guide you. The same Sunday sessions will start giving you answers. Sunday, in these sessions, all answers are being given. The problem is you should ask the questions very sincerely. See, only a question can be answered. No? All the principles are given. But for you to absorb, you should seek. You should seek very sincerely. Okay, and this higher thing which I told you about, Param Shreya, the highest best, that is something which you can revel in, it will inspire you. That will give you that ultimate inspiration to do sadhana. So we will stop here today. Before doing the Nidhyasana meditation, I will take up a question. Actually, this is not a question which I am taking up today. This is a point which a sadhak has made, is put it in the YouTube section. So this is very interesting. So based on this, I wanted to give a message to all the sadhaks. So Hari Om, Namaste Guruji. I, Santosh, would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you. I am thankful for each session, especially the last one, the last one on Sunday. In 2018, this is the point which I want you to note. In 2018, I had a question about controlling my imagination, but I didn't receive a direct answer at that time. 2018 means we are talking of almost 6 years back. As you mentioned, the answer would come when I was truly ready and at the perfect moment. That's exactly what happened. I now understand how to harness my imagination and channel it positively. I realize that my emotions, imagination, career, studies and life are deeply interconnected. Today I learned to utilize my imagination constructively, as you taught us that we are the manifestations of our own thoughts. Positive imagination can make us pure, sattvic and positive. As you guided, our mind, which represents Moshak, rat, can be controlled by invoking Lord Ganesha within us through regular sadhana. Thank you so much, Yogishri, for your invaluable guidance. Namaste. Hari Om. It's a very nice message. I would also, on behalf of all the sadhaks, thank Santosh ji to have expressed this, because when one sadhak expresses these points, that gives an opportunity for us to go more deep and understand the principles. No? So what is that which I want all the sadhaks to note is, see, he asked a question 6 years back, 2018, and he says, I didn't get a direct answer. But he stood there because it was mentioned that when you are ready, the answer will be given to you fully. Patiently he waited. And the rewards of that he is reaping now. This is what we are calling as the path of Shreyas, the path of the good. That which is good for you may not be pleasant to start with. See, when he didn't get the direct answer at that time, to wait patiently. Yes, the Guru Shakti will guide me. My master has mentioned, probably right now I am not ready to receive the answer, so let me wait. When another opportunity, nothing wrong in asking, but basically let me not now become restless. So that patience paid off. So this is something which as a sadhak you should absorb. See, we should absorb all the good practices and good qualities from others, especially co-sadhaks. See, what we do is we keep finding fault with others. This person is not good, that person. Even among co-sadhaks, I found each one start, finding faults. Instead, see the positive thing which they are practicing and implement it in your life. Your growth will become very, very much enhanced. So, these kinds of questions cannot be answered intellectually. Intellectual answers can be given, but they really don't mean anything. Our focus here, that is the yoga, we are using the yogic approach. So our focus is self-transformation, not merely bombarding ourselves with mere information. How long will it take to just explain what is imagination, what is this, what is that? But that wouldn't have helped. So the most interesting part is, see, when a seeker doesn't have patience, that is, when a student doesn't have patience, now that person will not be able to grow. Whereas when a person has patience, the growth becomes infinite. See, in a moment there was a choice, no? You can become impatient and say, okay, I'm not getting the answer now, let me refer to some other book, let me do some internet search, let me try to get more information. All those things he didn't do. He just kept on doing his sadhana, but this was in the back of his mind, with that faith that the Guru Shakti will guide me. And at the right moment, he absorbed it fully. That is the beauty. You can feel the energy of that. Of whatever he has expressed. No? So this you should practice. Do whatever you have to do, but be very, very patient in when it comes to the results or the fruits of your sadhana. All the masters are ready to help you, but you also have to be ready to receive their grace. No? And all your higher desires, your higher goals will be fulfilled. It's only a question of time. All your questions will be answered. But that answer should not be merely a superficial answer or an intellectual answer. It has to be that deep wisdom which carries that energy, and you should also receive that energy, not merely the information. That is how the Upanishads were taught. That is how in the good old days the masters used to teach the students, and the students used to receive from the master. Okay, so this is a very inspiring thing. One is that point, and the other important point also, which I have mentioned casually, make a note of that. That is when it comes to others, especially co-sadhaks, because see, the moment a person does sadhana, that person is starting the process of self-transformation. So when it comes to the co-sadhaks, when you get to interact or talk, or like November 10th, we are going to have an event in the auditorium. Many sadhaks will be coming. Some sadhaks are coming from different countries. Now, it's not that you have to talk and all that, but when you get that opportunity, always look at some positive thing and implement it. Don't look at the faults and negatives. That is an endless thing. How is it going to help you? That is prayers, the path of prayers. Patience, looking at the positives in others and learning. These things are all classified under the path of Shreyas. So, Preyaha Shreyaha. This is the message for today. Okay, so now we will do the Nididhyasana meditation. After the meditation, I have some very important announcements to make. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my physical body, beyond my pranas, beyond my emotions, beyond my thoughts, beyond my karmas, lies my real self. My higher self is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose the path of Shreya. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Slowly come back. Wriggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. Cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, cheeks, forehead, top of the head, back of the head and neck. Slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. We had a very deep and inspiring session today. Start following these principles. Your sadhana will start becoming more effective. All these principles will maximize the chances of success, both in your material field and in your spiritual growth. Tremendous value addition, Okay, so now I have a few very important announcements. First announcement is about the 22-day empowerment program which we are having in December. So that is on attracting abundance. Going to be a very powerful empowerment program. So some people have asked this question about the time. The time has been given as 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time. So people from different time zones, they were asking whether that will be kept. It will be kept for a while for the benefit of people from different countries with different time zones. All those details are there in the website itself. You can go and have a look. I think it's very clearly mentioned there. So as far as those people in India, 5 a.m. that is the best time because you have not yet started your day's activities. But I'll be sitting and giving the healing throughout the 22 days for the benefit of all the sadhaks from different parts of the world. Okay. So remember, from the moment you register, you're committing, making a commitment. The preparatory healing energy will be sent to you on a daily basis. So you will automatically start receiving it. If you do your daily sadhana, it will become more pronounced. Now, the other announcement is about the Yoga Sankirtan, the launch of SHRI HANUMAT DHYANA. We are having the launch next week, November 10th. It is next Sunday. The time is from 10 a.m. to 12:30. So we are having it this time in the Vani Mahal auditorium. I think again all those details are available in the website. So that is going to be on 10th. And then on 17th, which is again the subsequent Sunday, we are going to have the online telecast. That will be at 7 a.m. Instead of the Bhagavad Gita discourse that day, it will be the online telecast of the SHRI HANUMAT DHYANA release. And then on 24th November, which is again the next Sunday after 17th, we will be resuming our Bhagavad Gita verses. So kindly make a note of this and benefit fully. One very important thing is do your sadhana on a daily basis this week. That will prepare you because the energy levels will be naturally high. And SHRI HANUMAT DHYANA is designed to make you so powerful. Pass on this information to as many people as possible. And when you're passing on the information, don't use your filters whether that person will benefit, whether that person will be interested or not. All these things are not to be analyzed. Karma Yoga means serving others in a selfless way. If a person is going to be benefited, that person will automatically be drawn in. So SHRI HANUMAT DHYANA release, who is going to release that Yoga Sankirtan material? No human can release. Sakshat SHRI Hanuman is going to come and release it. So in between, why do you want to use your intellect and decide who should come, who should not? Should I send it to this person, should I not? There's nothing like that. Because some sadhaks have asked, how do we know for sure that that other person will be benefited? Means whether that other person will make use of it or not. All that you should not get into. You should play your part and keep moving in the path of spirituality. Because the more seva you do, the more qualified you'll become to receive higher and higher energies, more intensely, you'll be able to receive it better. And the highest seva is a spiritual service, spiritual seva, to help others grow spiritually. So when we are having an event like this, if you pass it on to as many people as possible, with the sole aim, see, you should be very clear, loka sangraha, so that, see, the benefits which I am getting, let them also get. We are providing the opportunity. You have the right to wish, but don't start having expectations that they should come. But you have all the rights to wish. You wish good for others, Okay. So, thank you very much. Hari Om.